What if the sacred texts we hold dear, the very foundations of our faith, whisper of truths far grander, yet deliberately obscured? What if, beyond the familiar narratives, lies a shadow, a forgotten wisdom deemed too profound, too dangerous, or perhaps too revealing for the eyes of generations? Our journey begins not in the well-lit halls of conventional scripture, but in the ethereal twilight of a biblical enigma, the figure of Enoch. Seventh in line from Adam, this patriarch walked with God in an intimacy rarely glimpsed, then vanished, taken without tasting death, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in mystery. He was a bridge between realms, a mortal granted access to divine secrets, yet the most extraordinary testament to his cosmic revelations. A book brimming with insights into heaven, earth, and the origins of evil, was largely excised from the very canon it profoundly influenced. This is the premise of a story waiting to unfold, a challenge to our understanding, and an invitation to explore the Book of Enoch, the revelations the Church tried to erase. Imagine a world still young, raw with the breath of creation, where the echoes of Eden had not yet faded entirely from human memory. It was a time when the veil separating the earthly from the divine seemed thinner, a sacred landscape stretching from the fertile crescent to the stark windswept deserts where ancient wisdom was etched into the very stones. In this primal dawn, long before the thundering pronouncements of Sinai or the bustling streets of Jerusalem, Enoch walked. His communion with the Creator was not a fleeting moment, but a sustained, intimate fellowship, a daily pilgrimage of the soul through a world both wondrous and terrifying. This was the crucible of his revelations, a period ripe with nascent spiritual understanding, yet also shadowed by unseen forces. It was an era when the foundations of human civilization were being laid, but also when unseen cosmic dramas were playing out, shaping destiny in ways that remain largely unknown to us today, save for the cryptic remnants of his extraordinary testament. To contemplate Enoch is to gaze into the heart of an ancient mystery, to imagine a soul chosen for an unparalleled divine encounter. Picture him not as a solitary figure in a cave, but perhaps walking through sun-drenched valleys or under star-dusted desert skies, receiving visions that transcended human comprehension. His revelations were not mere parables, but grand cosmic tapestries, woven with threads of celestial hierarchies, the architecture of the universe, and the very mechanics of divine justice. This was knowledge whispered from beyond the firmament, recorded with reverence by human hand, destined to become a testament unlike any other. The wonder lies not just in his ascent, but in the sheer audacity of the truths he was permitted to glimpse, truths that speak of a more complex, intricate spiritual reality than our conventional narratives often portray. This atmosphere of wonder and profound reverence surrounds the very idea of the Book of Enoch, hinting at depths of wisdom that challenge the boundaries of what we thought possible for human perception. This forgotten text, the Book of Enoch, emerges from the shadows of antiquity not as a relic, but as a persistent voice, challenging us to reconsider the breadth of divine revelation. At its heart lies the startling chronicle of the Watchers, a rebellious host of angels who descended to earth, corrupting humanity with forbidden knowledge, and siring monstrous offspring, the Nephilim, long before the Great Flood. This audacious expansion of the Genesis account, detailing the origins of evil, demonic forces, and divine judgment, was not merely a peripheral curiosity. It profoundly impacted early Jewish and Christian thought, its echoes discernible even within the New Testament itself. Yet, a core conflict would emerge: the struggle between a cosmic, divinely revealed truth and the human endeavor to define and control spiritual orthodoxy. This tension ultimately led to its marginalization by emerging church councils, who, seeking to consolidate a singular, more manageable narrative, slowly eased it from the sacred canon, leaving a profound void in our collective spiritual memory. Even as Enoch walked with the divine, receiving visions that would shape an entire cosmic theology, the ancient world around him was already a crucible of spiritual searching and profound mystery. Long before the Roman legions marched or the Greek philosophers pondered, the Fertile Crescent cradled civilizations that peered into the heavens and sought to decipher the language of the divine. From the sun-baked plains of Sumeria to the fertile banks of the Nile, humanity grappled with questions of origin, destiny, and the unseen forces that governed their world. These were societies steeped in intricate mythologies, where gods mingled with mortals, and the boundaries between earthly and celestial were fluid. It was within this rich tapestry of emergent spiritual understanding that Enoch's revelations found their initial resonance, echoing a primal human yearning for connection with the transcendent, a desire to understand the grand design woven into the fabric of existence itself. The echoes of Enoch's cosmic narrative reverberated through the ancient Near East, finding fertile ground in cultures deeply attuned to celestial phenomena and divine pronouncements. While Israel, the cradle of his direct lineage, would become the primary vessel for these truths, the wisdom traditions of Egypt and Babylon also played an undeniable, albeit indirect, role in shaping the environment where such profound revelations could be conceived and preserved. The meticulous astronomical observations of the Mesopotamian ziggurats, the intricate eschatological beliefs whispered along the Nile, all contributed to a cultural milieu where cosmic journeys and divine encounters were not merely poetic fancy, but a fundamental aspect of understanding reality. These influences, both direct and atmospheric, underscored a widespread recognition of a multi-layered cosmos, a world far more complex than the simple earthly realm. It was during the tumultuous Second Temple period, a time of profound spiritual ferment and national identity crisis for the Jewish people, that the Book of Enoch truly rose to prominence. Following the Babylonian exile, a deep yearning for divine intervention and a comprehensive understanding of evil's origins gripped the collective consciousness. Amidst foreign domination and internal strife, questions of suffering, justice, and the ultimate triumph of righteousness became paramount. Enoch offered compelling answers, detailing the primal fall of angelic beings and the subsequent corruption of the world, providing a cosmic framework for understanding the human predicament. His intricate cosmology, his visions of divine judgment, and his promises of a new heaven and earth offered solace and hope, establishing his book as an indispensable source of spiritual insight for many, resonating with a generation hungry for divine revelation. The transmission of these profound truths, from Enoch's initial reception to their eventual inscription, speaks to a meticulous and sacred process. Imagine scribal hands, perhaps illuminated by candlelight in hidden chambers or desert caves, carefully rendering the celestial visions onto parchment. The discovery of multiple copies of the Book of Enoch among the Dead Sea Scrolls at Qumran in the mid-20th century provided irrefutable proof of its widespread acceptance and profound significance within certain Jewish communities during the centuries, immediately preceding and contemporary with the rise of Christianity. These ancient manuscripts, preserved against all odds, stand as silent witnesses to a vibrant spiritual landscape where Enoch's cosmic narratives were not considered peripheral, but central to understanding divine law, the nature of evil, and the ultimate destiny of humanity. Indeed, the influence of Enoch extended far beyond the confines of Second Temple Judaism, weaving its way into the very fabric of early Christian thought. The New Testament itself bears witness to this profound impact, with direct allusions and conceptual parallels evident in several books. The Epistle of Jude explicitly quotes from Enoch's prophecies regarding the judgment of the Watchers, while the Apostle Peter's warnings about fallen angels and their imprisonment echo Enochian themes. These aren't mere coincidences, but deliberate affirmations, revealing that for the nascent church, Enoch's narratives were not only accepted, but considered foundational to understanding the origins of evil, the nature of demonic forces, and the ultimate cosmic drama leading to Christ's return. His insights provided a crucial lens through which early believers interpreted their spiritual world. Yet as the early Christian church began to consolidate its identity and doctrine under the shadow of the Roman Empire, a subtle but significant shift occurred. The rich, diverse theological landscape of its formative years gradually gave way to a drive for uniformity and centralized authority. The expansive cosmic revelations of Enoch, with their detailed hierarchies of angels, their audacious claims about rebellious watchers, and their complex apocalyptic visions, began to be viewed with suspicion. As doctrinal disputes arose, particularly regarding the nature of Christ and the role of spiritual intermediaries, texts that offered alternative or excessively detailed cosmic narratives, like Enoch's, were increasingly seen as potentially disruptive. The desire to establish a singular, manageable canon, often influenced by political and social pressures, slowly pushed the Book of Enoch to the margins. Beyond the historical and textual suppression, the narrative of the Watchers in the Book of Enoch carries a profound symbolic weight, echoing universal truths about the struggle between divine order and rebellion. It is more than a literal account. It is an archetypal drama that speaks to the insidious nature of forbidden knowledge and the corruption of power. The descent of the Watchers symbolizes humanity's perpetual temptation to grasp for understanding beyond its appointed measure, to seek shortcuts to divinity, or to exploit spiritual gifts for earthly gain. The monstrous Nephilim, their offspring, become a powerful metaphor for the distorted and destructive creations that emerge when divine laws are violated and sacred boundaries are transgressed, reminding us of the enduring consequences when humanity and celestial powers stray from their intended paths. Thus, the journey into the origins of the Book of Enoch reveals not just a forgotten text, but a persistent stream of spiritual wisdom that flowed through the ancient world, influencing prophets, shaping civilizations, and profoundly impacting the very foundations of our faith. Its marginalization was not an act of divine disapproval, but a human decision, born of a complex interplay of historical forces, doctrinal consolidation, and the inherent human desire to control revelation. Yet, like a subterranean river, its truths continued to flow, nourishing the spiritual landscape in hidden ways, waiting for a time when humanity would be ready to rediscover its audacious claims and profound insights. The mystery of Enoch is a testament to the enduring power of sacred knowledge, forever seeking to emerge from the shadows and illuminate the path to a grander understanding. And so we arrive at the heart of Enoch's audacious revelations, the very truths deemed too potent, too expansive, to remain within the conventional sacred narrative. Beyond the familiar accounts of creation and fall, the Book of Enoch unveils a cosmic drama of staggering proportions, the saga of the Watchers. These were not mere angels, but a distinct order of celestial beings, entrusted with guardianship over humanity, who, in a profound act of rebellion against the divine decree, descended from their heavenly abode. Their transgression was driven by an insatiable lust for mortal women and a forbidden desire to impart secrets meant only for the Creator. This pivotal event, shrouded in mystery within the terse lines of Genesis chapter 6, is here laid bare, not as a metaphor, but as a foundational cataclysm that irrevocably altered the trajectory of human history and the very spiritual fabric of our world. This descent was no benign interaction, but a deliberate corruption, a betrayal of their sacred trust. From the glittering heights of heaven, 200 Watchers, led by their chief Semjaza, swore an oath to transgress, landing upon the summit of Mount Hermon. Imagine the shock, the awe, then the profound terror as these celestial beings, once radiant with divine light, began to mingle with the daughters of men. Their union was an unholy covenant, a deliberate blurring of sacred boundaries, designed to defile the purity of the human lineage and infuse the nascent world with an alien, destructive influence. This act of cosmic insubordination was the first great spiritual war fought upon the very soil of Earth, setting in motion a cascade of consequences that would reverberate through all subsequent generations. What these Watchers imparted was not wisdom, but forbidden knowledge, a dark inversion of divine understanding. The Book of Enoch meticulously details their illicit teachings, the art of crafting weapons of war, from swords to shields, the use of cosmetics and adornments, inflaming vanity and lust, the secrets of sorcery, divination, and astrology, twisting humanity's spiritual sight towards manipulation and control rather than reverence. They taught humanity how to extract precious metals from the earth, not for sustenance, but for instruments of destruction and idolatry. This was not progress, but a precipitous fall, accelerating humanity's moral decay and severing its intuitive connection to the divine. The world became a laboratory for forbidden experiments, a crucible of corruption ignited by celestial fire. From these unholy unions sprang forth the Nephilim, monstrous giants whose insatiable appetites and violent nature quickly overwhelmed the earth. These were not simply large men. They were hybrid beings, born of celestial and earthly essence, embodying the transgression of their angelic fathers. Their hunger was boundless, first consuming all human provisions, then turning upon humanity itself, devouring flesh and shedding blood indiscriminately. The Book of Enoch reveals that when these giants perished, their spirits did not ascend to heaven, but became the restless, malevolent entities we know as demons, forever bound to the earth, seeking to corrupt and torment humanity. This profound revelation offers an unparalleled explanation for the origins of evil spirits, a truth largely obscured from conventional scripture. The cries of humanity, suffering under the oppression of the Nephilim and the corruption of the Watchers, ascended to the heavens, reaching the throne of the Most High. The Book of Enoch describes a poignant scene where the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel bear witness to Earth's agony, interceding on behalf of creation. The divine response was swift and absolute, a judgment decreed to cleanse the world of its profound defilement. The Great Flood, often understood as a response to human wickedness, is here revealed as a direct consequence of this angelic rebellion and the subsequent pollution of humanity's spiritual and physical essence. It was a cosmic reset, a desperate act of divine love to preserve a remnant of purity. Enoch, the chosen seer, became the divine messenger in this unfolding drama. He was sent to proclaim judgment upon the Watchers, delivering God's stern refusal of their pleas for mercy. Imagine the courage, the unwavering faith required to confront these powerful, rebellious angels, delivering a message of eternal condemnation. But Enoch's mission extended beyond prophecy. He was led by angels on a celestial journey, traversing the vast architecture of the cosmos, witnessing the places of judgment, the storehouses of celestial elements, and the very throne room of God. He saw the chains prepared for the Watchers, the fiery abysses where they would be imprisoned until the final judgment, a testament to the inexorable nature of divine justice. Through Enoch's eyes, we are granted a terrifying glimpse into the cosmic geography of divine punishment. He describes deep, dark valleys, desolate and burning, where the Watchers are bound with unbreakable chains. He journeys to the, quote, Valley of Abomination, a place of perpetual torment and fire, specifically designated for their eternal suffering. This imagery finds resonance in later biblical texts, particularly in the New Testament, where Peter speaks of angels who sinned being cast into Tartarus, held in chains of darkness for judgment. And Jude references the angels who did not keep their proper domain being kept in eternal chains under gloomy darkness. These are not mere poetic descriptions, but glimpses into the multi-layered spiritual reality of divine justice. The spiritual insight gleaned from the Watchers, rebellion is profound. It underscores the immense power of free will, even for celestial beings, and the dire consequences of its misuse. These angels, created in glory, chose rebellion, demonstrating that evil is not merely an absence of good, but an active, deliberate turning away from the divine. Their fall serves as an archetypal warning against seeking knowledge outside of divine parameters, against allowing lust and ambition to supersede sacred duty. It reveals that the battle for the human soul is not just an earthly struggle, but a cosmic one, deeply intertwined with ancient conflicts in the heavenly realms. This narrative compels us to reflect on our own choices, our own temptations to grasp for power or knowledge outside of divine grace. This ancient account fundamentally reshapes our understanding of human history and the ongoing spiritual warfare that permeates our world. It proposes that the very origins of malevolent spiritual entities are rooted in this pre-flood angelic transgression, meaning humanity has been contending with the echoes of this cosmic rebellion for millennia. The temptations, the societal corruption, the unseen influences that plague us take on a new dimension when viewed through the lens of Enoch's revelations. It urges us to recognize that the spiritual realm is far more active and intricate than often perceived, and that discernment of these forces is paramount for navigating our earthly journey with clarity and purpose. Thus, the Book of Enoch stands as a monumental unveiling, a profound illumination of biblical mysteries that were deliberately obscured. It offers not just a forgotten history, but a deeper understanding of the origins of evil, the nature of divine justice, and the intricate dance between heaven and earth. To embrace Enoch's vision, is to open oneself to a grander narrative, one that acknowledges the full scope of creation and the enduring battle between spiritual light and shadow. As we step back from these revelations, we are left not with confusion, but with a heightened sense of awe, a clearer moral compass, and a tranquil understanding that even in the face of ancient darkness, divine wisdom ultimately prevails, patiently waiting to be rediscovered. The unveiling of the Book of Enoch is far more than an archaeological marvel or a mere scholarly rediscovery. It represents a profound spiritual illumination, casting a radiant new light upon the very foundations of our faith. For centuries, the narrative of creation and fall, of divine justice and humanity's struggle, has been understood through a specific, often limited lens, leaving vast cosmic questions unanswered and certain events shrouded in ambiguity. Enoch, however, pierces through the shadows of theological omission, revealing a clearer, more intricate tapestry of divine interaction with humanity and the unseen realms. His words, once whispered in hidden chambers and preserved in desert caves, now emerge into the daylight of modern consciousness, offering a purification of understanding. This ancient text invites us to cleanse our perceptions, to strip away layers of conventional interpretation, and to embrace a renewed vision of a dynamic, multidimensional spiritual reality where divine intention and cosmic consequences are intricately interwoven, guiding our path toward deeper truths. In a modern world grappling with seemingly intractable evils, from pervasive societal injustice to the subtle corruptions that erode the individual soul, the Book of Enoch emerges as a profound beacon of hope. It assures us that no transgression, not even that of powerful celestial beings, goes unaddressed by divine justice. The meticulous detailing of the Watchers' judgment, their binding in chains of darkness, and their ultimate consignment to fiery abysses underscores an unwavering cosmic order that transcends human understanding. This ancient narrative reminds us that beyond the chaos and despair we often witness in our earthly existence, there is an overarching divine plan, a steady hand guiding the universe towards ultimate righteousness. This vision instills a deep sense of peace, affirming that the forces of light will ultimately prevail, and that every shadow, no matter how ancient or pervasive, will eventually yield to the triumphant dawn of divine truth. Conversely, for those haunted by the unseen, by the pervasive sense of spiritual warfare and malevolent influences that seem to permeate our modern world, Enoch's revelations offer a unique form of solace. Rather than fueling fear with vague, undefined threats, the book systematically demystifies the origins of evil spirits, tracing their lineage directly back to the rebellious Watchers and their monstrous Nephilim offspring. This precise understanding, far from being terrifying or overwhelming, becomes profoundly empowering. It transforms the amorphous dread of the unknown into a discernible, albeit formidable, adversary, offering a framework for comprehension. By understanding the ancient roots and motivations of these spiritual forces, we are better equipped to discern their tactics, to guard our minds and hearts, and to stand firm in the unwavering light of divine protection, replacing blind fear with informed vigilance and spiritual clarity. The overarching theme of redemption, woven throughout Enoch's cosmic tapestry, resonates deeply with the human spirit's perennial quest for renewal. While the Watchers faced unyielding judgment, humanity, despite its corruption, was offered a path to restoration. The Great Flood, often viewed solely as an act of widespread destruction, is reinterpreted through Enoch's lens as a profound act of purification, a divine cleansing designed to preserve a righteous remnant and pave the way for a renewed earth. This narrative offers a powerful message. Even in the wake of profound spiritual defilement and cosmic error, the possibility of redemption endures for humanity. For us today, it underscores that our individual and collective journeys are not defined by past mistakes or inherited corruptions, but by the continuous opportunity to align with divine truth, to seek purification of heart, and to participate in the ongoing renewal of creation, echoing Enoch's own transcendent walk with God. Consider the potent imagery that emerges from these ancient pages, the radiant light of divine knowledge piercing through the long-held shadows of ignorance, illuminating the obscure corners of our spiritual understanding. This is a purification not just of historical records, but but of the very lens through which we perceive our spiritual reality, allowing us to see with greater clarity. Like a sacred temple cleansed of forgotten dust and cobwebs, our collective consciousness is invited to shed the limitations of partial narratives and embrace a fuller, more vibrant truth about the cosmos. The renewal it offers is akin to a morning mist lifting from an ancient landscape, revealing hidden pathways and forgotten monuments of divine design. This profound insight breathes fresh air into stagnant theological spaces, encouraging a vibrant, dynamic faith that is unafraid to explore the depths of divine mystery, trusting in the ultimate grace of creation's grand, unfolding story. Ultimately, the Book of Enoch extends an urgent invitation to personal discernment, to cultivate a spiritual sight that looks beyond the readily accepted and into the deeper currents of divine truth. Enoch's own journey, from a mortal walking with God to a celestial traveler witnessing cosmic judgments, serves as an archetypal blueprint for our own spiritual growth. It challenges us to question, to seek, and to allow the sacred texts to speak in their fullest, most expansive voice. In an age saturated with information yet often starved of true wisdom, this ancient text encourages us to develop an inner compass, guided by the timeless principles of divine order and justice. It is a call to awaken our own spiritual senses, to become vigilant stewards of our beliefs, and to embrace the responsibility of seeking a comprehensive understanding of our place within God's vast and intricate creation. The very persistence of Enoch's message, surviving centuries of suppression and emerging from forgotten caves, is a testament to the enduring nature of divine truth. It whispers across millennia that what is truly sacred cannot be permanently erased or confined by human decree. Like an underground spring that eventually finds its way to the surface, the authentic revelations of God will always seek to illuminate humanity's path, regardless of historical attempts to obscure them. This cyclical emergence of ancient wisdom reminds us that spiritual awakening is an ongoing process, a continuous unveiling of deeper layers of understanding as humanity evolves and seeks greater clarity. It broadens our perspective, reminding us that our earthly lives are but a single thread in a magnificent cosmic tapestry, interwoven with celestial dramas and guided by an omniscient hand that orchestrates both visible and invisible realities. As we conclude this journey into the profound revelations of the Book of Enoch, we are left not with questions, but with a deeper, more tranquil sense of understanding. The shadows that once obscured crucial aspects of biblical history now recede, replaced by a radiant clarity that empowers and enlightens. To walk with Enoch, even metaphorically, is to glimpse a universe far grander, more intricately designed, and more profoundly governed by divine justice than previously imagined. This rediscovery offers a renewed foundation for faith, a comprehensive framework for discerning the forces at play in our world, and a profound peace that comes from knowing the full scope of God's redemptive plan. It is a quiet assurance that truth, however hidden, always finds its way to light, offering guidance and solace through all ages, inviting us into a deeper communion with the divine. Our journey with Enoch, through forgotten texts and celestial visions, culminates not in a final answer but in a profound invitation. We have traversed cosmic landscapes, witnessed angelic rebellions, and grappled with the origins of evil, only to arrive at a deeper understanding of our own spiritual reality. The revelations of the Book of Enoch, do not merely add chapters to an ancient story. They expand the very canvas of our faith, challenging us to perceive the divine drama in its full majestic scope. It reminds us that the sacred is not confined to familiar narratives, but permeates every layer of existence, visible and unseen. This expanded vision fosters a renewed reverence, a quiet awe for the intricate wisdom woven into creation itself. It encourages us to look beyond the surface, to listen for the whispers of ancient truths, and to embrace a faith that is both deeply rooted and boundless in its capacity for wonder. The journey has revealed that even in the shadows of suppression, divine light always finds a way to pierce through, illuminating pathways to greater enlightenment and a more comprehensive communion with the sacred. This illumination, born from the depths of antiquity, holds immense relevance for our contemporary lives. In a world often characterized by confusion, moral ambiguity, and unseen pressures, Enoch's wisdom offers a compass, a spiritual anchor. It teaches us the critical importance of discernment, the ability to distinguish between divine truth and its many distortions, between genuine spiritual guidance and the seductions of forbidden knowledge. By understanding the ancient roots of corruption and the enduring battle between light and shadow, we are better equipped to navigate the complexities of our own daily existence. We learn that true wisdom is not about control or power, but about alignment with cosmic order, about cultivating an inner sanctuary where divine grace can flourish. This ancient patriarch, who walked so intimately with God, inspires us to seek that same profound connection, to find tranquility amidst turmoil, and to live lives imbued with purpose, guided by the enduring principles of justice, truth, and spiritual integrity, echoing the very essence of creation's divine design. And so, as the echoes of Enoch's voice fade into the vast silence of eternity, we are left with a profound sense of awe and gratitude. Awe for the boundless nature of divine revelation, which refuses to be contained by human limitations, and gratitude for the courage of those who, across millennia, preserved these sacred insights. The journey through the Book of Enoch has been an act of rediscovery, a reclaiming of a fuller spiritual heritage that enriches our understanding of God's intricate plan. May this expanded vision inspire us to continue our own spiritual quests, to remain open to the myriad ways the divine speaks, and to cherish the profound peace that comes from embracing a truth that is both ancient and eternally new. Let the quiet wisdom of Enoch resonate within us, a gentle reminder that even in the deepest mysteries, there lies an unwavering light, guiding us towards an ever deeper communion, leaving us enlightened, at peace, and forever changed by the grandeur of the unseen.